Welcome to Buzzed and Baffled, the podcast where the wine flows, the stories twist, and the truth is always stranger than fiction. We laugh, we sip, and we dive into tales that leave us buzzing with questions and baffled by reality.
But before we uncork the weirdness, a quick disclaimer. We're not experts, just curious storytellers with glasses in hand. All content within this podcast is our humble opinion. Some content may be dark, disturbing, or downright inappropriate, so listener discretion is advised. And remember, nothing pairs better with a wild story than a good pour, so let's get buzzed and baffled.
It's been quite their production, her getting
Jesus
set
Christ, yeah,
up.
this has been... I'm like out of breath.
Well, we've had a busy day.
Yes, it's Thanksgiving, first of all. Like,
And
actually Thanksgiving.
We just put the turkey in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
David's ignoring us downstairs.
Yeah, I was thinking if I had to be reincarnated, I would either want to be a golden retriever of an upper middle class white family or reincarnated and married to myself, because either way is a pretty sweet damn life.
I want to be a Pomeranian that belongs to me because
Mhm.
it doesn't matter how dumb I would be.
Yeah.
I would have the best life ever.
Yeah. So,
How'd you get in here, Lana?
my mom let me in.
Are you going to be good? Are you going to stick your tongue in Mom's spare wine glass?
Maybe.
Because we do have spare wine glasses.
Yeah, we know we're gonna need them.
We're in for something special.
Yeah. I think we talked about it in an earlier episode. I know we definitely posted it on Facebook when we had a shout out to obtain this beautiful bottle of wine.
I'm going to use the word wine in quotations.
Yeah. Firstly, it's not just wine. Like, it says Chardonnay on the label among some other words, but I don't know that they can legally call this wine.
We all know how much I love a Chardonnay to begin
Yeah.
with. This is going to be extra oaky and extra buttery.
Oh, for sure. And secondly, I know it's not actually wine because there's
An ingredient-
nutrition facts on the back and ingredients.
and a nutrition list.
Yeah.
This says there's a government warning, but I think there should be other kinds of warnings on here.
Yeah, the government warning is the least of the health concerns are the least of the problem.
Well, we are on episode 32.
32.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing when you were 32 years old?
God, that was so long ago.
The first time? Building the pyramids?
Yeah.
Doing Cleopatra's winged eyeliner?
Yep. I was teaching her how to write in hieroglyphics.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Being the teacher that I am.
Oh, mm-hmm. Teaching your statistics?
Yeah. Like, statistically, you have bad taste in men, girl, and you need to make different choices.
That's fair, yeah. Throw a little therapy in there, too.
Uh-huh.
That's a trauma response, girl.
I'm about to have a trauma response.
Yeah, we both
here.
are.
Because
Well,
I'm just gonna
tell us
lean
what
into-
it is.
It is pumpkin spice Chardonnay from Trader Joe's.
Yep, and
We're so dumb. We asked someone to pick this up.
yeah,
for
we
us
put out a call for like people to search for this for us, and Donna came through.
because we don't have a Trader Joe's
No,
near us.
not anywhere even close. So
It
I
says,
mean, just do it.
indulge in the essence of autumn with our pumpkin spice Chardonnay, a harmony of nutmeg, cinnamon, and clove, with hints of buttery pie crust and a kiss of sweet cream. Like a freshly baked pumpkin pie, this delicious blend is the perfect way to celebrate the warmth and coziness of the season. Produced and bottled by Second Story Wine Co., Greenville, California.
Okay, well, we might as well just get this shit over with.
Oh no, the top won't come there. Oh, that was like a pop when I did that.
Oh, good. So it's a little carbonated too. It's all of your favorite things: pumpkin spice, Chardonnay, sweet cream.
Give you a nice big pour.
Oh, ugh! I don't even want to sniff it.
Hold on, I'm gonna record this so I can
Oh,
post
yeah.
my response to this online.
Yeah, this will be a visual. I'm so scared. Oh, It smells bad, like from
Oh,
a foot
no.
away.
Oh, it smells terrible.
Oh, I don't. Ugh.
Has it turned? Is it supposed to smell like this?
Ugh.
I was holding it in the front of my mouth to see if I could smell.
Ugh. Firstly, this is not wine in any way, shape, or form.
Oh my god, that's
It's sweet grape juice that someone put a cinnamon stick in.
yeah, and like a clove head.
David will probably drink this. He'll probably like it.
Oh, it's so gross. Don't do it, guys. It's so
And
gross.
it's been in the fridge for hours, but it tastes warm. Like,
It's like it's bad. No matter what, it's bad.
yuck.
So
I can't even find, like,
I'm going right to the Bona
Yep.
Box Rosé.
switching it back to where we were going to go.
This can go next to the Relax bottle in the fridge.
Yeah, but I can at least cook with that relaxed one. What am I going to make with this?
like at least the other one tasted like Diet Coke.
Yeah. Ugh. Yuck. It's not very often that I find something that I can't find any redeeming quality. Oh, give me that dry rosé, please. Yuck.
Ugh. Okay, yeah, I need to
Yucky. Ugh, I gotta like. It's so gross.
It's like its aftertaste
Mhm.
keeps hitting you.
Ick. Oh, there.
Oh, that's better. It's like mother's milk.
Uh-huh. It's like sharpness, like acidity. There is absolutely not one speck of acidity in this bottle of wine.
Like it's buttery to the buttery. And I wish it tasted like pie crust. That
Yeah.
would make it better.
Yeah. It doesn't. I wish it tasted like Chardonnay, even. Like, I would even be willing to drink that, but it doesn't even taste like wine.
Or like maybe we need to crumble pie crust into it to make it better.
Maybe I'll make a pumpkin pie out of it.
Ugh.
Ugh, yuck. Oh, just like give me the chills. It's so gross.
Well, I got bad news. Well, maybe it's good news, Kyla. I'm gonna get that sugar cookie one I saw at the store. We're gonna try that one.
We'll compare and contrast.
Uh-huh.
Which is worse? St. Julian sugar cookie or Trader Joe's pumpkin spice Chardonnay?
St. Julian is an abomination.
Yeah, that place should not be allowed to produce anything. Ugh.
Where does our story take place today?
Today we are traveling to the mythical land of California.
Oh, we gotta tighten this. Hold on, I gotta get my.
Oh
spray
yeah,
bottle.
my
There
sister
we go.
cut my hair since our last recording, so I had to grab a spray bottle quick, and that was the closest one. That's why it was on mist.
It was that bitch, like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. You're
Mhm.
trying to take away my power.
And we are in Chowchilla, California, which on the map it's if you stretched out California into a long rectangle, it
Square
would
in
be
the
like
middle.
exactly in the center.
Mm-hmm. Is everything about it just median?
Yeah, I think so. Like
Okay.
there's not I don't know how many I should have looked at how many people live there, but this story takes place in 1976.
Okay.
I think it's a bigger than a Houghton Hancock, but it's not a metropolis by any means.
Okay. It's not like LA size.
No. So we are at July 15th, 1976.
Okay.
55-year-old school bus driver Frank Ed Ray, his name was Frank, but he went by Ed, I don't know why, was driving 30 elementary school students aged 5 to 14 back home from a summertime class trip to a swimming pool at the Chowchilla Fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
By about 4 p.m., he had dropped 4 of the children off. So there's 26 left.
Mm.
At 4:10 p.m., a van swerves into the path of the bus, blocking the lane and forcing the bus to stop.
Well, that's suspicious.
3 men with pantyhose on their heads jumped out of the van and boarded the bus, hijacking it.
Why would you hijack a bus with a bunch of kids? Is one of them famous and they're going to hold them for ransom?
I'm not going to give you the horn because you're like 90% there,
Okay.
but not quite.
Okay.
One of the perpetrators held Ed at gunpoint. The second one drove the bus, and the third man followed behind in the van they pulled up with. The children did not comprehend what was happening because they're kids.
They're just like, oh, this is weird.
One young girl, upon seeing the legs of the nylons dangling from the kidnapper's head, asked him if he was the Easter Bunny.
Were they very young or very dumb?
Well, they're age 5 to 14. Most of them are on the much younger scale. There was like
Okay.
one 14-year-old, and I'll talk about him a little bit later.
Was it the 14-year-old that asked if they were the Easter Bunny?
No, and I know I can say that because the 14-year-old's a boy.
Okay.
The bus was driven to a slough on a shallow branch of the Chowchilla River, where it was hidden among the thick brush. All the passengers were forced off the bus and split into the first van that they pulled up in, as well as a second van that was already waiting there in the brush. 12 children went into one van, 14 children plus Ed, the driver, went in the other van. Their captors made them jump from the bus directly into the back of the vans so they wouldn't leave footprints.
They'd really planned this out.
Mm-hmm. Both vans had been modified. Their windows were painted black, and soundproofing was installed on the interiors.
No one will hear you scream.
Nope. The victims were driven around for nearly 11 hours.
They wanted to make sure they had no idea where they were.
Mm-hmm. It was 95 degrees because it's July 15th.
And did they have air conditioning in the 70s?
Nope.
Ugh.
At least not in these vans. And there was no water in those vans for those kids or adults.
So they're rude, too.
Yeah. There were no bathroom breaks.
I would have been complaining so loud.
Yeah, they would have kicked you off. They would have just blindfolded you and kicked you off and been like, no, it's not worth it. Some of the kids wet their pants because obviously...
We had 11 hours.
Yeah. Other kids got motion sickness.
Oh, it must have smelled so bad in there.
And the perpetrators had full gas cans in the back with the kids because they had to keep stopping and refueling, but they didn't want to go to a gas station. So you have all the gas fumes as well.
I would have been so nauseous.
Finally, after midnight, they stopped at the California Rock and Gravel Quarry about 110 miles away from the fairgrounds. Which is them just like literally driving around. I mean, it would only take 2 hours to get there.
Did no one in the city think it's weird to see two rape vans just like driving in circles around town?
I don't think they went in the city. I think they stayed in like smaller town areas. And just like drove around to completely disorient everybody. Ed and the children were instructed at gunpoint to exit the vans, climb down a ladder through a hatch, and into an underground bunker at the quarry.
I don't like that. I mean, it's probably better than the van, though.
Well, no.
Oh,
not
no.
really. The bunker was made of an empty truck trailer that had been buried 12 feet underground. Makeshift toilets were installed over the wheel wells.
Well, at least they got that.
An obviously inadequate ventilation system was put in. The roof sagged and was propped up by timbers that creaked and groaned. And I have a picture of it.
That means like dirt is about to collapse into this puppy any day.
My paper's unstuck here.
Ooh. Don't like that. Oh, when you say makeshift, you mean literally just
like
outhouse.
They put,
and it just probably goes into the dirt.
Yeah, they put like a wooden box over the wheel well and cut a hole in it. It's like an outhouse, even worse.
That's not great. 24 kids in here?
Yeah.
That would have reeked.
And the bus driver.
Oh, yeah.
Investigators would later determine that the trailer had been buried since November of 1975.
What year is it now again?
July of 1976.
So they planned
We're about
this
8 months later.
They really planned this.
It had dirty mattresses, jugs of water, a jar of peanut butter, a loaf of white bread, potato chips, and Cheerios.
You know, the creature comforts.
Yeah. As each child moved down through the hatch, the kidnappers wrote the child's name and age on a Jack-in-the-Box hamburger wrapper and took an identifying piece of clothing.
These people are fucked up.
Yeah, it would be like little Johnny going through and they would write down Johnny Smith, age
Why
8.
Jack-in-the-Box?
I think that was the only piece of paper they had. So they planned this whole thing.
But they had a dirty cheese. Is that how they caught him, though? Because they were looking at Jack-in-the-Box?
No.
To see like who worked there or
No.
camera footage.
There was a picture of the wrapper. It actually looked more like a bag than a wrapper,
Okay.
but still not a piece of paper.
Like you can have a Post-it note
Yeah.
at least.
Ed was forced to remove his pants as his identifying article of clothing, leaving only his undershorts and a shirt on. So at least they left him that.
I mean, I guess if I have to like being shirtless with a bunch of little kids is also not great.
Yeah. Once everyone was inside, the ladder was removed and a piece of sheet metal was placed on top of the closed hatch. The metal was then weighed down with two 100-pound industrial batteries and covered with dirt, essentially burying them alive.
I don't like this at all. Lisa would hate this. She's claustrophobic, and her worst fear is being buried alive.
Yeah.
So shout out, Lisa. This one's for you.
She doesn't listen anyways. On July 16th, the day after, or shortly, because they got there at midnight, so it's like a whole thing. But the day after the kidnappings, the Chowchilla police had their phone lines absolutely inundated with calls from concerned parents and curious media outlets. Obviously, nobody could understand how an entire school bus full of children would just disappear.
It's not normal.
No. One state trooper's wife, when she was interviewed, at a complete loss for any other explanation, was like,
The state trooper's wife?
yeah, she, like, TV was like, oh, your husband's a state trooper.
Like, why would you not talk to the state trooper?
Well, because he's busy finding the kids.
The wife is like, well, let me tell you in my professional experience.
Yeah, this is just like, I don't know, TV6 pulling up and pulling a random onlooker out of the crowd.
Let's be honest, this is the Q&R report.
Yes. Yeah. She's like, maybe it's an alien abduction. There's no other explanation.
Obviously an alien abduction.
The school principal traced and retraced the bus route several times, north and south, east and west. He went everywhere that he could to see if it went down a ditch, like a ravine, and obviously he couldn't find it. Because of the busy phone lines, the kidnappers were unable to get through to the police.
They're calling in ransom, but they can't get through.
No, to demand their desired ransom of $5 million, which is $28.5 million today.
But yet they can't afford a notebook.
No, the kidnappers decided just to wait for the phone lines to slow down a little bit so they could get through till they're eventually freed up. And they decided to take a nap.
I mean, they were driving for 11 hours, Kyla. Yeah. They are worn out.
Meanwhile, Ed and some of the older children in the bunker came up with an escape plan. They stacked the mattresses in a pile so they could reach the bottom of the hatch. Oh, I have a picture of the van, too.
Well, I mean, here you can see the mattresses kind of stacked up. Yep, that's a rape van if I ever saw one.
Miraculously, Ed was able to lay on his back and push it up with his legs just enough so that 14-year-old Michael Marshall could wedge in a wooden slat that they knocked from the box spring that was in the truck trailer and stick it in there. So at least they could take a quick breather and then
resume.
Yeah. Ed was able to inch away the batteries and the sheet metal and eventually dig through the dirt.
So they didn't fully bury them all 12 feet, just enough to cover it.
Right.
Okay.
And I think when they say 12 feet, I think the bottom of the trailer is 12 feet down.
Not the top.
Right. So you have, 10 feet, a 10-foot tall trailer. So you have, a couple feet above that. Michael, the 14-year-old boy, was not supposed to be on the bus that day. His mother sent him to ride home on the bus with the elementary kids as punishment because he made her mad that morning.
He never let her forget that. I bet. Oh, I'm grounded. Do you remember when I got kidnapped because you tried to punish me?
Yep. Ed, Mike, and the older children worked for 5 hours, pouring what little water they had over their heads to keep from fainting in the stifling heat and poorly ventilated ceiling area. 16 hours after being buried, all the captives escaped. Later,
did they tunnel their way out?
Well, they finally, they just inch by inch, and every time they could, they put in another slat to just keep things open, and the batteries would slide off, and then they were able to dig dig through the dirt because I mean they clearly didn't pank it down.
I'm picturing them coming out of the earth like fucking
Mm-hmm.
zombies. They show up just like smeared because they're so
Mm-hmm.
sweaty and they're muddy.
Later, there was some controversy over whether it was Ed or Michael who lifted the hatch. Even though he himself admitted later that there was no way he could have gotten the hatch open himself, Michael's mother stood firm, saying, quote, "I do think Mike was the real hero, but if this fame is what Ed needs, then I think we should just let him have it. Besides, the nation needed a hero, and I guess a 14-year-old boy just wouldn't do," end quote.
I mean, why can't they both be heroes?
And why does it matter?
like they worked together to get a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
elementary school children out of a hostage
Mhm.
situation.
Yeah.
You know who's not a hero, Mom?
Yeah. The mom who made her kid get kidnapped and then was like, oh, well, I guess I have to try to do something here.
I want to know what he did that was his punishment.
Yeah, I think he just mouthed off to her or something in the morning. He's 14.
I would lord that over Lisa if that happened to me. Like if I got on bus, God, was it bus 10 that I was on with Mr. Moylanen
Mm.
and we got kidnapped? I would never ever let her forget it. I'm like,
Mhm.
you think the bathroom story is bad, Lisa? Just you wait.
And Ed is, I mean, he's 55 years old. He's a school bus driver. He was has a farm. So he's used to like throwing 100-pound bales and stuff. And you have a wiry 14-year-old boy.
See, now at first I was thinking of like a fat old bus driver. Now I have a very different image in my head.
I have a picture of him and he's not like a bodybuilder. But
Now in my mind, he's like sexy Santa.
oh, no. He's
Okay.
not. No. Clear that image because you're going to be real disappointed.
I can't with my bad rotator cuff. Can you pour this
Yes.
wine for me?
Hold it still. Hold on, folks. We're doing some technical maintenance here. Okay.
Cold, old, hurts to falling apart.
She had to hold up the build-a box while I pressed the plunger. The victims, once they got out of the hatch, made their way through the quarry and found a guard shack where, of course, the police were called. The Alameda County Sheriff's Office responded and brought everybody to the Santa Rita jail because it was the nearest facility that had medical staff.
Because I'm sure that all these kids are like dehydrated and like heat stroke.
Yeah. Ed and the children.
Poor Ed might have had a stroke
I know.
just trying to lift that.
Yeah. Ed and the children were each examined, given food and water while detectives took their statements. They were then all driven back to Chowchilla and reunited with their families.
I'm going to look up because I'm just curious. How much does 2 feet of dirt weigh?
And it would be loose dirt. And I'm assuming the hatch was like manhole cover sized. So you'll need to do some mathematics about the volume of a cylinder and the weight of dirt.
I'm just going to ask Google. So the cubic feet of dirt is between 80 and 120 pounds.
Okay.
So if you're looking at 2 cubic feet.
Mm-hmm. So you have, you got
a
the
cubic foot
200
of loose dirt weighs about 74 to 76 pounds.
Okay, so you have about 150 pounds of dirt,
Mm-hmm.
200 pounds of batteries, and a piece of sheet metal. It's 350 pounds.
Yep.
And if,
And he just like bench pressed that.
I think he laid on his, like they put the mattresses all the way up and he laid on his back and pushed with his legs.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because you have more leverage
Yeah,
that way.
and I'm sure every time he pushed, it knocked a little bit of dirt away until they could finally get an inch or whatever to put that slat in. And then from there, it was just like piecemealing it away.
I'm just thinking of how sore his lower back and
God.
quads must have been
know.
at the end of. He was hobbling.
Yeah. Me shoveling the end of my driveway today, I had to come in and put my massage thing on it.
I hope that school gave him like an award and a bonus that year.
I don't know about the bonus, but we'll get to the other stuff. Once our intrepid kidnappers awoke, again intending to call the police to demand their ransom, they turned on the news, and guess what they saw?
Shit, we slept through it.
Yep.
All that work for nothing.
All the captives had freed themselves and were safely returned home. Immediately after finding out about the crime, however, the FBI and local law enforcement had already begun to investigate a suspect. 24-year-old Frederick Newhall Woods IV, who was the son of the owner of the California Rock and Gravel Quarry.
I'm thinking like, how would they start to decide that? Because they didn't have like DNA evidence back then. They had these vans, but I'm assuming they were smart enough to wear gloves and stuff so you wouldn't get fingerprints.
You would think, but also maybe don't
Bury,
bury them in your dad's quarry.
don't shit in your own backyard.
Frederick had been described as a loner who struggled to meet the expectations of his father.
Well, I mean, he did come up with a pretty good plan, except for the napping part.
Yeah, and I still can't get over that hamburger wrapper. Like, man, you went through all of this. You buried a trailer 9 months in advance, but you didn't think to grab a piece of paper and a pen.
He grabbed a pen, just not a piece of paper.
Maybe they wrote it in grease. I don't know. Woods had keys to the quarry and was allowed to access it freely. He also had a criminal history. He and two friends, 24-year-old James Schoenfeld and his brother, 22-year-old Richard Schoenfeld, were sons of a prominent local podiatrist. All three of them had previously been convicted of theft of a motor vehicle and sentenced to probation.
Because their rich daddies bailed them out. I don't think daddy's going to be able to buy their way out of this, though.
No. Investigators obtained a search warrant for Woods' home. In his room, they found plenty of evidence tying him to the crime.
Of course, because you can't think, oh, I shouldn't hold on to the evidence of all of this.
Yeah.
The clothes that I wore that are dirty from, like my shoes that are just covered in gravel.
It's very...
The list of names on the Jack in the Box
That's
rack.
exactly, yeah. It's very Sante and Kenny Kimes, where they just had... Yeah, that's you. Where they just had all the evidence in his bag. So in his room, they found journals, notes, maps, a draft of the ransom demand, and the Jack in the Box hamburger wrapper that listed all the kidnapped children's names.
The chef's kiss, right?
Yeah. His
Meanwhile,
plan...
Jack in the Box is like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Can
exactly.
we stop saying the Jack in the Box wrapper? Can we just say the wrapper?
Can we just talk about hamburgers? This is all the kids being, when they got back to Chowchilla, being reunited with their parents. So like they put them in like jumpsuits, I think, because they didn't have clothes that were
because
clean.
they took their clothes.
Yeah, so I think those are like
jail jumpsuits.
Because that's where they went.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure they let the kids shower and clean themselves and stuff before they brought them home.
Well, I suppose because back then, now I'd be like, no, you don't, because now we're going to photograph you as is, and we're going to collect DNA and everything. I like the real Chips cop right here.
That's definitely California Highway Patrol. So Woods' plan for the ransom, this is a doozy.
Also, why are these all in black and white?
Because it was 1976, Nicole.
Oh, I thought maybe you just had a cheap-ass printer
No,
somewhere.
they are in black and white.
Okay.
I have the next photo is color.
Okay.
But if I give you a black and white photo, it's because the photo was in black and white.
I'm over here judging. I was like, do you not have color printers at work?
I would never use my color printer at work.
Okay.
to print podcast stuff.
I do mine at my office.
So his plan for the ransom, this is what he wanted. So he wanted $5 million, right? He wanted it to be dropped at night by airplane into the Santa Cruz Mountains, where he and the others would be waiting to retrieve it under cover of darkness.
How are they going to know exactly where it goes?
I don't know.
Okay.
They also found in his room a rental unit contract. And so they went to the rental unit, and that's where they found the vans, the two vans that they used to, the one they used to stop the bus, and then the other van that they used to drive them around all night.
Okay.
So, of course, the court issues arrest warrants for Woods and the Schoenfeld brothers. 8 days after the kidnapping, Richard Schoenfeld voluntarily surrendered to police. His brother James was arrested 2 weeks later near San Francisco.
Okay.
And Frederick Woods...
Is San Francisco north or south?
South.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, like way south.
Oh, no, that's San Diego. San Francisco is, if you look where that pin is, straight to the left and up like half an inch. That's San Francisco.
Oh, I see it right there. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I always get that mixed up. with
that's
San
where
Diego.
we're flying into.
Yeah, maybe we could stop at Chowchilla.
Well, no, because we have to go north to go to
Okay.
Napa.
Also, I don't need to go to Chowchilla.
But if we go north, we could probably maybe find where the guy killed all those people.
Oh, and Ukiah. That was
Yeah.
the Steven Stainer guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Frederick Woods was arrested the same day as James, so about 2 weeks after, by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. So he made it to Canada.
He went like straight north.
Mm-hmm. And I have mugshots.
You go to Mexico, guys, not Canada. They will extradite you.
In color.
Oh, good color.
Got a bunch of gingers here.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so they're all redheaded stepchildren, and they all look like their name should be Chad.
Mm-hmm. We'll post this on buzzedandbaffled.net.
.net. The thorn in Kyla's side.
I hate it so much.
In March, though, we will look to see if
we'll look.
.com is available. And then I'll have to reprint all the shirts that I've misspelled.
Well, you can just do .net to like link to .com. And then you can just start using .com. Despite coming from wealth, James Schoenfeld later explained that.
So wait,
So-
he's the brain trust.
No, Frederick's the brain trust. He's the one.
And
Who,
so these are the two brothers.
yeah, those two are brothers whose
And he-
dad's the podiatrist, and the other one's the brain trust whose dad owns the quarry where he buried the people.
I want everyone to know he's trying to have a Tom Selleck mustache, but it's real spotty.
He's also losing his hair quite significantly.
He's got a comb over that he's trying to
Mhm.
hide what's happening.
So James, one of the brothers, later explained that he and Frederick Woods had large debts, even though they came from wealthy families.
From what? They don't go to college. They don't do anything.
I don't
I'm
know.
assuming gambling debts.
I think they were into cars a lot. So I don't know if they were racing or just spent too much money on fancy cars.
I want to be like, Frederick, there's a reason your father's disappointed in you.
He said, quote, "We needed multiple victims to get multiple millions, and we picked children because children are precious. The state would be willing to pay ransom for them, and they don't fight back. They're vulnerable. They will mind," meaning they will listen, end quote.
So what they're saying is, I'm a cluster B personality disorder, and I should not be allowed in society ever again.
And the state of California had recently announced a budget surplus, so that's why they decided to ransom the state of California.
Like, they were so close to having a smart plan.
Yeah, it's just like they were like almost there.
That they couldn't cross the finish line.
During court proceedings, all three perpetrators pleaded guilty to kidnapping for ransom and robbery. Obviously, how are you going to get out of it?
I want to guess how much time they got.
Okay. And Richard Schoenfeld did even express remorse for his actions, one of the brothers. Woods, however, had other ideas. And in a letter discovered later, he urged a friend to write a movie script about the crime, and all he wanted was a percentage of the profits.
You're not allowed to benefit from a crime that you're convicted of. Ask O.J. Simpson.
All three of the men refused to plead guilty to the charge of inflicting bodily harm because this charge, in combination with kidnapping in California at the time, carried a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole.
Well, even if you are guilty and they have you dead to rights from a legal standpoint, in my extensive legal training.
Because you went to Kim Kardashian law school, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what I thought.
Yep. I watched the Kardashians.
You probably know more than she does.
But it's just smart. You don't plead guilty because it's on the prosecution to prove that you're guilty.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to prove your innocence.
Yep.
So you just got to roll the dice and see what happens.
Yeah. And with them pleading guilty to the kidnapping, they didn't have to go to trial for that, but because they wouldn't plead on the bodily harm, they did have to go to trial.
But if I was Richard or James, I would want a separate trial, and I would roll on Frederick to get a better deal.
Mm-hmm. Unsurprisingly, all three men were found guilty and received the mandatory sentence of life without parole.
You were supposed to let me guess.
Well, I already said they pled to. Well, sorry.
I thought they were gonna get off.
Back it up. Erase that, and I'll read it again and let you guess. Nicole. Cut it out.
See, I was gonna guess that they got the white man sentence,
Mhm.
which would be like 7 years.
Yeah. Well, and we know with whoever kidnapped Steven Stainer, what did he had like 5 years for horrible, awful things all those
Mhm.
times. Yeah.
And like he raped him repeatedly.
Yeah, and he was already in jail for a bunch of other stuff too. Later in 1980, on appeal, the bodily harm conviction was overturned and the sentences were revised to life with the possibility of parole.
I hope these fuckers aren't out. I watched her try to push it a couple of times.
Yeah, I didn't quite hit it square. The appellate court stated that the victim's injuries were mostly minor cuts and bruises and did not rise to the standard of great bodily harm.
Do they not count trauma as bodily harm? Sorry.
The answer is no for that, by the
Oh.
way. And I'm not, they're absolutely horrible people, but I understand that if you're looking at a legal definition,
It's different.
some little bruises and scrapes
Mhm.
are not great bodily harm.
Well, and like legal definitions are very different than layman's or
Mhm.
medical definitions because insanity is very different from a legal standpoint than it is from a mental health
Right.
standpoint.
Richard Schoenfeld was released in 2012 when he was 58 years old.
Okay, so this one,
Yep, the
The-
youngest brother.
the one who looks the least crazy of these
Yeah,
three.
and he was the one who actually expressed remorse during the trial. His brother James was released 3 years later in 2015 when he was 63.
He's got a chin, this one. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to describe this facial structure.
Uh-huh. In 2016, authorities discovered through a workers' compensation suit filed by an injured employee that Frederick Woods had been improperly running several businesses from prison.
I actually think that's funny. Never lose the hustle.
No,
Keep
and
going, Frederick.
you're allowed to, but you have to have the warden's permission, which he did not have.
Was it a gambling ring?
No, he had 3 businesses at least. What do you think that some of those might be?
Was it notebook making?
No. Well, no, it wasn't. I was going to try to give you, but no.
Was it a paper mill?
No, but trees were involved.
Okay.
He ran a used car dealership, a Christmas tree farm, and a gold mine.
That is very random.
Yeah.
Also, where do you get gold mine? I'm assuming the car dealership, and the car dealership is a front for something else. You're laundering money through
Mhm.
that. The Christmas tree farm probably also because you're just growing trees until you cut them down.
Mhm.
But also, his daddy gave him money for that.
2 of the cars in his used car dealership inventory were the vans he used in the kidnapping.
So that means they never sold.
Nope. He kept them after the crime, believing their notoriety would increase their value.
I hope it was shut down. They're like, absolutely, you cannot profit off your crimes.
Well, and I'm surprised. I mean, it was the 70s, but that they released evidence back to him
I would think you would keep that. Also,
because he was convicted of it.
but I also think they wouldn't have torn that van apart like they do now because they weren't doing forensic accounting of things.
Well, and they knew like right away who did it.
As we know from Tampa, the police are not good at being like, if we just follow this car, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But you also have to remember they didn't have cameras on every street
Oh, no.
corner like they do now. Now, if you're like, what happened? There's a camera probably at that four-way stop in most cities, and you're going to be able to identify 2 suspicious vans.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you could track them throughout the city. Even Houghton, you'd be able to figure some of that out.
As the heir to 2 of California's wealthiest families, he had inherited a trust fund of $100 million.
Frederick doesn't deserve that.
He did have to share it with his only sister. However, she had Down syndrome and lived in an institutional setting. So
Oh.
she couldn't access the money anyways.
I would hope that she was not in an institution, or it was the best institution money could buy.
Yeah, and I didn't look into her. I doubt there's any articles on her.
So this one is the brain trust of the family.
By October of 2019, Woods had been denied parole 19 times.
good.
He repeatedly minimized the severity of his crimes and had numerous disciplinary issues while in prison, including possession of cell phones and pornography.
Well, he's an antisocial personality.
Yeah.
Of course, he doesn't give a shit about
No,
consequences.
never mind running your 3 businesses.
I mean, but if you have a life sentence, oh no, what are you going to do to me?
But he has parole, so he still should behave
Oh.
himself. He did, however, get married 3 times and bought a nearby mansion while he was in prison.
I never understand the women who, first of all, write letters to cons and
Mhm.
are like, let me give you my address.
Yeah, I know.
Much less, I'm going to marry you. Like the women who would like write to Bundy.
Oh my God, I know.
I'm like, you know, he murders women.
Vamp, I gotta pour some wine.
And like, if you heard that noise, it was her chair creaking. It wasn't a fart.
It was my papers dropping.
So I'm always just like amazed with women who are like, this seems like the best option I have in my life.
Yeah, that's definitely, you have some deep-seated,
Like
very big issues.
I've been married 0 times.
I thought you were just going to confess to me that you've been married. I was like, what?
Also, like that one time I was married.
What?
I do drop a real bomb every once in a while.
I was going to like double Marisol eye patch you.
But I do say, like, watching David, I was like, maybe I don't want to be married. This seems like a lot more work than just doing it myself. And I will say, sometimes I say, Kyla, will you come help me? But what did I do yesterday?
You couldn't wait because you were being impatient for me to come help you put your light up. So you just did it yourself with your gimpy shoulder and your long fingernails.
I did. So, like, I have very long fingernails on right now. And I'm not good at things that involve tools. I did get all the tools up in one go, except for when I had to find new screws.
That's fair.
But I did have to take it down at least 2 times because I did things in the wrong order.
Yeah. I would also like to remind you that the reason I had to open the turkey on Tuesday night was because you didn't have nails. And then you promptly put them on Wednesday morning.
And why did I put them on, Kyla?
Because I was going to do your light.
Because Kyla said, oh, I'll do your light for you. But so we had a big storm here, guys. In my defense, we had a big storm and the electricity was out at work. So there was no electricity, no heat, and nobody was going to be showing up for therapy because no one's coming out in the middle of a blizzard. So I took the day off and I went home. And so when it got delivered, I decided I was going to put it up. And so I would raise my arm with my right hand so I could hold it with my left. Because once it's up, it's fine. Because I tore
locked into place.
Like I have a torn rotator cuff or something, guys. So like I'm all fucked up. But I got it done. Ow, and it's beautiful.
That's it. Yeah, you deserve that little owl just for now. Anyways, back in Chowchilla. Woods was recommended for parole in March 2022, and this time it was granted.
Do I have a...
Very well.
Nope, that's not what you wanted. Nope.
Okay, we need to work on our soundboard.
We gotta put some more sounds in there.
We'll do that after this.
Governor Gavin Newsom asked the board to reconsider, but by August 2022, Woods was released from prison at the age of 70.
At least Gavin gave it the old college try.
Coincidentally, Gavin Newsom's own father, Judge William Newsom, was the appellate judge who overturned the bodily harm conviction. After retirement, Judge Newsom advocated for the kidnappers, saying the crime was, quote, a youthful stunt and had no vicious aspect to it, end quote.
This is like the same judge who, there's a current case going on where a 20-year-old boy brutally sexually assaulted his girlfriend and choked her out and almost killed her. And the judge on the case, because he was like 17, I think, put him back to juvenile court, so he only got probation.
Jesus.
But now she's like, the judicial system's looking into her because that's obviously not okay.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if the Woods family were major contributors
Mm.
to the Newsom family's political, not necessarily Gavin because he was like, no, but I don't know what Judge Newsom did.
But I also feel like this guy very much like the man who assaulted that woman on campus, and the judge didn't want to give him a sentence because he didn't want to ruin his promising career as a swimmer.
Yeah, the one who raped a passed out girl behind a dumpster. Yeah.
Mhm. So, like,
What was his name? Something.
was
Oh,
it Bryce?
it was like Brad or Bryce or.
I'm gonna Google this. You keep talking.
Okay.
I'll come up with it.
Shortly after the kidnapping, a local Lions club sent Ed, all the kids, and their parents to Disneyland.
Jesus Christ.
A parade was held.
Brock Turner.
Brock Turner. Fuck him. Fuck you, Brock Turner. A parade was held by the city of Chowchilla, and I have a picture of that
Wait, they held a parade for him?
for the kids and everybody.
Okay. Oh, is that the bus driver?
Yeah.
He looks very suave here. And I have to say, I'm really loving the white buckle leprechaun shoes and the black socks. And I know that suit is 100% polyester.
1000%. Like, if he gets close to an open flame, it's over.
Uh-huh.
Donations from all over the country came in, meant for Ed's retirement fund and scholarships for the children. So the country was kind of captivated by this, and a lot of people were just sending money.
Well, he did a good thing. He's going to get screwed, isn't he?
Actually, no.
Okay. This isn't like my stories where everyone is miserable.
It wasn't all good, though. In 1976, not much thought was given to the lasting trauma endured by the victims. There were no crisis services or counselors brought in. That wasn't a thing.
Nope.
The belief was that, quote, healthy children, or I guess that wasn't a quote, I'm just saying healthy children would eventually get over it.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, kids.
But
you were only buried 12 feet underground.
But many of the kidnapping victims struggled later in life trying to cope with what they experienced during those 28 hours and beyond.
Bet you none of them liked close spaces.
No. A study was done on them, with them, and panic attacks, nightmares, personality changes, and development of phobias were common among the captives.
It's almost like they had PTSD.
18 months after the kidnapping, one of the older victims shot at a Japanese tourist with a BB gun when the tourist innocently stopped outside his house. I think the tourist was just like pulling out a map or something, like in the car. He wasn't there for him. It was just someone like, oops, I turned down the wrong street.
But
I'm trying to
I'm
get
paranoid because the last time someone stopped in front of me, I got stuck in a hole for 20 hours.
Even years later, the victims reported depression and substance abuse issues, and several had been convicted of crimes related to doing something controlling to somebody else. And I'm assuming that means probably some domestic violence, maybe,
kidnapping.
I don't know if it went to kidnapping, but
sure
things where they had to exert control over somebody else.
Well, and that would make sense because if I make sure I have control over everything, this can never happen to me again.
Yep. Yeah, probably, I'm guessing, like interfering with phone lines, things like that. At least one marriage fell apart, and one of the victims was institutionalized shortly after graduating high school.
Well, that I might say I'm also thinking there might also be some pre-existing things with what's going on here.
Another victim stated his earliest childhood memory was the kidnapping.
Jesus.
And that a different child came out of that bunker than the one who went in.
Well, yeah.
The Chowchilla kidnappings and the aftermath experienced by the victims have helped guide how we respond and treat young trauma victims today. From the Oklahoma City bombings to the Columbine massacre, there was a psychiatrist, Dr. Lenore Terror, who studied the children. I don't know if it was the same study that I mentioned, but she, whether it was reading case notes or whatever, and she referred to those victims as the little heroes of medicine because it brought to light that even the youngest victims carry wounds and trauma. And if you want to talk about trauma a little bit, now's your time.
I'm more in a political bandstand of, so we recognize that the kids get trauma, but we're not willing to do things to prevent it.
Yeah.
Specifically like Columbine.
Yeah, and I think there are people who recognize it, like this doctor,
Mhm.
but society certainly did it. And, I'm
Mhm.
sure their parents were like, well, you're fine now. Get over it.
Well, they didn't have therapy back then.
Mm-mm. No, and going to therapy,
Mhm.
I'm sure would have been much worse than.
Well, and the hard thing though is when you're working with kids, it's really hard to do trauma therapy with a 7-year-old
Mhm.
because first of all, a 7-year-old kind of lacks the language and the concept of what emotions they're even feeling.
Yeah. Well, and like the little girl had no idea what was happening at first. She
Mhm.
thought it was the Easter Bunny. The concept of being carjacked
Yeah.
is nothing to
So, like
them.
in those situations, you're more often working with the parents to set up a stable environment so they can kind of regain a sense of security.
Mhm.
And as they develop language as they get older for that, that's when they're going to be able to process it.
Yeah.
Like with EMDR. Look at the light, Kyla.
Yeah, I don't think there was any EMDR going on for those kids.
It wasn't even developed yet.
No. Ed Ray, the heroic bus driver, received an award for outstanding community service from the California School Employees Association.
That's a little bit more than community service.
Yeah, I agree.
He should have got like a Medal of Valor.
Mm-hmm. Many of the children he helped save visited him throughout the year, so they all
Mhm.
kind of maintain, obviously, a bond.
That's good.
He died in 2012 at the age of 91.
Good. I'm glad he lived a good retired
Mhm.
life. Hopefully not in this suit.
Yeah. In 2015, a park in Chowchilla was renamed Edward Ray Park, and February 26th each year, his birthday is Edward Ray Day in Chowchilla.
I like that.
In 2016, the remaining 25 survivors, one had passed at this point, filed and won a lawsuit against their kidnappers,
Good.
which was paid out of Frederick Woods' trust fund.
Good.
Yep.
Suck it.
The amount was not disclosed.
Mm-hmm.
One victim said it was, quote, enough to pay for some serious therapy, but not enough for a house, end quote. So I'm thinking they probably got like $100,000 a piece.
Wait, so what year was this?
2016.
No, so we're talking probably closer to like 200, 300,000 because in California, like you're looking at like $1 million for like a starter home.
Right. And they didn't get enough for that.
Yeah.
The Chowchilla Kidnapping event remains the largest kidnapping in United States history.
Well, you hear it, people. Who can beat it? No, I'm kidding. Don't do it.
Pod challenge.
Yep.
We were just trying to come up with some new challenges to post on TikTok for the pod, Nicole.
But it's really just us kidnapping David and putting him in a bunker.
Oh my God. He'd probably be worse than dealing with 6 to 14-year-olds.
Well, my challenge right now is that we have to take another drink
Oh,
of this
no.
pumpkin spice Chardonnay.
Oh, no. Do I have to?
Smell it first.
No. Oh, it's so gross.
Smell it.
Ugh. Now it's like coated my tongue again. God damn it, Nicole.
It's like thick.
Ugh, because it's not even wine. It's like wine and juice and spices.
Like wine is not carbonated, but this somehow is flat. Like if wine could be flat.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be carbonated, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like pop syrup in a fountain machine.
I like Robitussin. This is nothing like Robitussin.
I think I would actually rather drink cough medicine than this wine.
I can go grab that little shot of Malort when I go let the dogs out again.
I thought you were going to talk about my NyQuil from the airplane. How I had to psych myself up.
This bitch, first of all, refused to admit she had a cold, and I offered her Sudafed before we left.
I didn't have a cold. I just had a real runny, stuffy nose.
And so then we're in the airport in Chicago, and she's like, I'm going to go look for some Sudafed. And I'm like, okay.
And then I'm like, oh, yeah, dumbass. You can't buy Sudafed in an airport because it's like a controlled substance.
So she had to get liquid Dayquil or something. And watching her shoot it like a shot.
Oh.
I have a video of it.
Yeah. And then when I went back to go buy tissues because I couldn't think ahead to buy them both at the same time, I did see Dayquil capsules. but there was like a pack of 6 and it was probably like $42.
But you were probably in a fever dream from the cold. So
I didn't have a fever. I never had a fever. My nose was just like stuffy and I had a cough from the dry air.
So we're going to refresh this. So to the next pour and to the next plot twist.